First of all, you're not going as fast as you would like.
You feel like you're sinking in every step you take. And then sand gets in your shoes and it becomes really, really painful.
Painful? Why?
Yeah, because it's like
stuck.
Oh,
there's a bunny.
Ah, bunny. Good morning. It is like 5:30 in the morning. We woke up about 4:30. When did you wake up? 4. Melissa woke up a little
4:15 actually.
Yeah, a little bit earlier. I slept in a little bit later and we made it down into Arches. We were here last night. This is the windows section of Arches. And there's probably half dozen cars, maybe 8 cars in the parking lot. We're gonna try to get some sunrise photos up here. So yeah, it's a beautiful morning and nice and quiet. So let's go check it out. What do you think?
It's pretty. Very quiet up here.
All right, beautiful sunset up here at the windows. I think this is the south window or north, I don't remember. But there's another window over on that side. So we're walking down the path a little bit to go check out from below on the opposite side of this arc. And yeah, it is amazing right now. Really, really beautiful sunset today. Sunrise. I'm still sleepy, sorry. All right, let's go see what else we can see over here. I think right after sunrise, everybody kind of leaves, so we have it pretty quiet to ourselves. But
So we've climbed down from this window, which is where everyone sits and waits for sunrise. But I didn't realize there was another window right there. Just as impressive, I would say. You can't see it from the trail.
And then I came over here a little bit right at sunrise, and there was like no one over here. So that's a pro tip. So everybody goes to this window up there, which is the one you can see from the parking lot and the trail. And then you just walk over a little bit to this window. That probably would have been a better place to sunrise, but we didn't know. So yeah, when you're in a location where there's a lot of people for like sunrise or sunset, here's my tip. Kind of have to be a little bit creative, kind of walk around and survey the area a little bit and figure out if there's a better angle, kind of use the landscape to your advantage and see how much of the people you can block out basically. So that's what I did, kind of walked around 360 of the arch and checked out different angles, see which little overhang kind of could block out people and still have a nice photo. All right, now we're gonna climb back up and head to a different section of the park. Another pro tip, it is 6:30. Sunrise was about 6 or just before 6. There's probably 20 people, 25 people here for sunrise. Now at 6:30, 0 people. And what you can do is wait about half hour after sunrise and for the sun to get just high enough above the window, the crest of the bottom of the rocks, and then you get your nice sun through the window picture. All right, what do you think, Melissa?
It's great. It was a good morning. We only got 4 hours of sleep. So, I'm tired, but we'll do a little bit of driving / hiking until about 10 a.m. and then we'll go to the hotel and probably nap for like 8 hours.
Not 8 hours, but
okay,
I think
I can never nap that long. Maybe
we're gonna
4.
drive down to, I think, the Devil's Garden area, and then there's, I think, what's called Landscape Arch. So that is our plan. Drove down the road a little bit, about 15 minutes or so from the windows, and now we are pretty much at the end of the paved road at a place called Devil's Garden. There's a few different trails over here. The one that we're gonna do is called Landscape Arch, and I think from there you can actually keep going to a place called Double O Arch, but that requires a little bit more hiking. So this morning, we're just gonna do the 1.6 miles to Landscape Arch. the morning is definitely the time you want to come because the weather is really nice right now.
Super nice. Like, it's comfortable without light jacket on, but even in the evenings when the sun has gone down, like 6 p.m., it was still like 90.
Yeah,
in the
about
90s.
90 degrees, yeah.
So it doesn't get cooler at night. It's only cool in the morning, so take advantage if you can.
Yep, really nice.
Breathing kind of heavy.
All right, so we made it about, 0.75 miles up the trail, and we are now in front of Landscape Arch. I think, Melissa, if this is correct, this is the longest spanning arch in the entire Arches National Park. It looks pretty impressive, I have to admit. So let's go get a little bit closer and go check it out. So to get closer to the arch, the trail becomes sand. It's my worst type of surface to hike on. It's the worst. We did it in Havasu Pai.
It was awful.
Terrible. So
first of all, you're not going as fast as you would like.
You feel like you're sinking in every step you take. And then sand gets in your shoes and it becomes really, really painful.
Painful? Why?
Yeah, because it's like
Oh,
stuck.
there's a bunny.
Ah, bunny.
So back in 1991, a part of Landscape Arch broke off and there were some people sitting underneath. I don't know if they were okay or not, but what I read is that the previous 10 days, there was a lot of rainfall and they think water seeped into the pores and ultimately caused the rock piece to break off. But because this arch is no longer stable, visitors can no longer hike up to it.
Yeah, you guys see that little curved piece on the right-hand side? Apparently that's where it kind of fell off, right, Melissa?
I think it said it was on the right side. I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's the
It's
exact.
probably over there. But I mean, look how...
It looks new, right?
Yeah, over there looks new for sure. But look how like thin it is.
Yeah, in one spot. So this thing is at risk of collapsing any day. However, experts are saying that as time passes, you would think it's more and more stable in terms of like not breaking off anymore, but you never know. And it's pretty thin. So I think just to play it safe, the park has just closed it off.
Melissa, what are your final thoughts about this arch?
It's actually very large when you get right up underneath it. It's pretty impressive. It's kind of a shame that you can't get right up underneath it, but I understand the concern. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a super popular spot just for the reason that you can't get right up underneath it. But that's okay. We were able to get pictures without people in it.
Look how thin it looks up there. I mean, I don't know how well it's gonna come out on camera, but in person, it looks really, really thin.
Yeah. So I think most of Arches National Park is a sunset destination. However, you can't be in multiple places at once for sunset, so you kind of have to choose. I think tonight we're gonna try Delicate Arch.
That's like the really, really popular one where like there could be hundreds of tripods set up, for sunset.
And it is a little bit of a hike too.
Yeah,
It's
I think a little over 3 miles round trip.
Yeah, so that one sunsets at like 8:40. You should plan to be there at least an hour before. So like 7:40 to secure your spot, and 1.5 mile hike will take us, I don't know, like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So we should probably plan to start our hike at like 6:50. It'll take like 30 minutes from our hotel, so like 6:20. So we have to eat early. Otherwise, we'll be eating at 10 p.m. again.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
So Melissa and I have been traveling together for, what do you think, 14 or 15 years, something like that?
2007.
Yeah, so 14 years. Yeah, 14 years. And not sure why it took us this long to get to Arches and Moab.
It's hard to get to.
Yeah, it's hard to get to.
You either
It's hard to get to, that's true.
The closest major airport is Salt Lake City, and from Salt Lake
It's like 250 miles still. So it's far. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but man, I'm very, very impressed with Arches. Just even driving around, and then these little hikes, I mean, you don't have to hike a lot to get to most of the scenic spots, like for example in like Zion or someplace like that. You have to go on some pretty substantial hikes, like for example to go to Angel's Landing. It's a good 1.5 to 2 hour hike to get to where you need to go. Here, the furthest hike you need to take is like 3 miles. So really, really easy. With that said, even though it's difficult to get to, I suggest you guys come check it out for sure. We'll kind of give you our final conclusions at the end, but my initial take on this is probably need 3 or 4 days to really see it in depth, the way like to do it properly. So after a nice afternoon, or most of the day actually, back at the hotel, we took about a 3-hour nap from like 9:30 to like 12:30. Went out to get some lunch, had some Thai food in Moab, and now we're back here at Park Avenue. Kind of the first main section of the park as you enter. It's a little windy, but we got up here and then Melissa realized she needed to use the bathroom, so she took the car and headed back down to the visitor center to use the bathroom. So I'm just kind of hanging out up here until she gets back. And we're probably gonna go on this little 1-mile hike down. We were here yesterday afternoon, but we just kind of took some photos and then we didn't get to do the trail. So we're gonna do the trail here in a little bit. Actually, this trail leads up to, I think it's called the courthouse section. So you can take the road or this trail goes 1 mile that way. So we're just gonna do this little hike here real quick and see what we can see.
The visitor center was closed, but the restroom was open.
Oh, that's good.
It did say on their website that they were closed on Sunday, so.
All right, you ready to hike?
Yeah.
We're now starting our little hike down into the Park Avenue section here. So the reason they call it Park Avenue is, as you can see behind me, these rock formations on either side reminded the early visitors of like New York City's streets where Park Avenue, yeah, so Park Avenue.
Right now, since we're higher up, it doesn't look that tall, but when you get down, supposedly, it becomes very apparent too. So let's go down.
The good thing about this trail is we haven't seen a single person on it yet, but it's not as impressive as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be more impressed by the towers. I mean, it's pretty tall, but
I've seen taller.
It's not as impressive as I thought it would be when we came down, but it's still pretty cool. So we walked down about, I want to say half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, something like that. We didn't make it all the way down there to the end of the trail because I don't think it's worth it. So we came down here. So this behind me is what they call the courthouse, this structure. And the photos from here of the courthouse is what we think is the coolest part of this hike so far. The hike is easy. It's just literally a easy downhill trail, very flat trail down here. And this is kind of the viewpoint. You can kind of make out the road down there. So you can even drive up to that viewpoint. So yeah, really nice, easy hike, mostly in the shade. So in the late afternoon, it's really good. So yeah, it's 6:45, so we need to move on to the next stop. I forgot to mention this, but I think we said this morning we were going to go to Delicate Arch for sunset, but we kind of made a game time decision that since it's Sunday evening and we're still here for one more day, Monday evening probably will be a little bit less crowds because, we figured, people are here for the weekend. They'll still be here Sunday evening. Not exactly sure if it's going to make a difference or not, but that's what we're going to do. So instead of doing that hike this evening, we're going to just hit up all the other areas that we didn't hit up yesterday, including things like we're going to go to Balance Rock, and there was another arc nearby the window section. It's called Double Arc, and that looked really cool at sunset, so we're gonna go check that out. We've now made it back to the windows section because there is another arc that we didn't look at this morning or go take photos of this morning, which is called Turret Arch, which is on the right-hand side. So over there are the windows. On this side is the Turret Arch. Made it here on top of Turret Arch. Gonna walk down here a little bit. So yeah, that was the parking lot back there. Just walked up a little bit, and yeah, that is Turret Arch. So you can climb through it. Sun is obviously setting this way, so sun is in this direction. So I'm gonna go a little bit further and see if the photo over here is a little bit better than the backlit side. What are your thoughts on Turret Arch?
It's pretty cool. I like how we have the place to ourselves.
Yep. No one here at all.
this is Double Arch Trail. It's that way, but I don't know if you can see it, but obviously there are 2 arches and it's not a very long walk, but pictures here are better at sunset. So we're running out of time, so we're gonna stay put here till sunset.
So far, our favorite section or area of the park is definitely the windows section. It has a lot of cool structures like those windows back there, turret arch, and then these double arches here in front of us. So tomorrow we're gonna go do Delicate Arch, which is like the iconic Arches National Park like picture.
But also it's on the Utah license plate, so it is the most famous arch.
Yes, but I think, you know, it's been photographed so many times, I think we're gonna obviously, you know, not be original, but it's okay. But this double arch is pretty damn impressive.
I'm okay with not being original.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta get that iconic shot.
Correct. That's double arch behind me. It is a lot more impressive than I thought it was going to be looking from the parking lot. You get, as you're walking up the trail, as you get closer and closer, it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. How you found the pictures?
Okay, so my favorite, one of my favorite photographers, the Hearns, they are based here in Moab, but they have this one beautiful shot that Alan and I could not figure out where it was, and I screenshotted it just so I could, like, you know, try to find it, and we found it. It's double arch. It's just the way they shot it is from like up there, but yeah this is it.
It's the one that's behind the main.
Yeah. So I think this is a sunrise photo, though.
I think it's sunset.
You think?
Yeah, because the sun's
on that side.
on that side.
Oh yeah, and sunrise is over there. Yeah.
So let's try to, we're gonna see if we can recreate that shot. A little bit of a tip. So you see those rocks behind? So I just took a photo of Melissa. There's still quite a few people here, and they're all perched up on the ledge, like right at the top of the arch here. So I'm using these rocks to basically hide people behind the rocks. So yeah, I'll put the photo in now that you can see, because yeah, now Melissa looks like she's just the only one here right now. So use your surroundings to your advantage. What's going on here?
I'm sitting here on the ledge of Double Arch. It's scrambled to get up here, although it's not that hard. Getting down is very difficult, but there is just a small little ledge. I mean, it'll only fit like 10 people or so, but it's, I don't know, like 10 minutes before sunset, and we thought we'd be able to see sunset from here, which we did at one point. We saw the sun at one point, but it disappeared behind this rock. I would say early June. This is not a good sunset spot if you want to see the sun actually going down, although it is pretty. It's a really cool arch.
But now you're literally the only person up here.
Yeah.
When there were like dozens of people now.
Yeah, everybody left.
But I mean, everybody is gone. Now we're just gonna.
But at this time of year, the view looking that way is better than the view going this way.
Yeah. So yeah, this view is quite amazing. So that's a tip. I mean, everybody wants to watch the sun set, and if you just be patient and wait and just let everybody disperse, you still have some time to get photos by yourself, at least right now. So I'm gonna take some photos of Melissa, and we might take some photos together. So yeah.
It's not so fun coming down. You need really grippy shoes.
All right, so that was our really fun day, full day here in Moab. We hit up a lot of really cool spots, including this one. I mean, I think, personally, I think this is my favorite so far.
Yeah.
The double arch, favorite photo spot.
Yeah. It's hard to get photos without people in them.
Yeah, unless you are patient.
Yeah, sunset, and then wait. Even sunrise, I think there will be people there.
Yeah.
But people also disappear after sunrise, so
yeah,
just wait.
Just wait. Yeah, just be patient, just wait. Don't get discouraged if they're be like, oh, you want your own photo and all this stuff. Just patience will always be rewarded, I feel like. But anyway, so that is it. We are tired, and the good thing is we don't have to go out and get food at 10 p.m. like we did yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna head.
Although
back.
The pizza that we had yesterday was very good.
It was.
I don't know what it's called.
Antica Forma or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like a pizza place here in
the service was
Moab.
not very good because I think they were understaffed, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was pretty busy for like 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
But we had a gluten-free pizza, and you could not tell that it was gluten-free.
Not really.
The crust tasted pretty normal. Actually, really normal. Normal enough to where I was like, oh crap, I don't think they gave me a gluten-free pizza.
Yeah, she asked me, oh, did the waiter actually say it was gluten-free when she put it down?
Put it down, I actually heard our server say gluten-free into his little tablet when he was taking our order.
Yeah.
And then when she put it down, when someone came to put our pizza down, she said it was gluten-free. So, I mean, I trust them, but it was too good. Too good to be gluten-free.
Anyway, that's a long-winded wrap up to this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to follow more epic adventures that we go on, like this one, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good night.
So, without further ado, here is our newest addition. Avery, look!
We want to introduce our newest member to our family,
Avery,
Avery.
look.